Junkuk stood by the window, arms folded tightly across his chest as he watched the rain smear the city lights. The apartment was silent except for the occasional creak of the floorboards in the storm outside, fitting, considering the one brewing inside his heart. Taehyung hadn't come home again. And even worse, he hadn't even texted. Junkuk had stopped asking. Stopped begging. Stopped accusing. It didn't matter anymore. Because even if Taehyung swore he hadn't done anything, the emotional betrayal felt like a knife twisting deeper each day. It wasn't about cheating, not in the way most people defined it. It was the Instagram DMs Junkuk accidentally saw when Taehyung left his phone unlocked. The way Taehyung laughed at compliments from strangers and flirted back under the guise of being friendly, the way he was emotionally available to everyone but Junkuk. He used to be home by 8. Now he stayed out late, barely offering excuses. And when he did, they felt rehearsed, like lies dressed in formal wear. "Do you even want to come back anymore?" Junkuk whispered to no one. The bedroom door creaked open just after midnight. Taehyung entered, shrugging off his wet coat and loosening his tie, eyes immediately locking onto Junkuk. "You're awake," he said, tone unreadable. Junkuk nodded. "You smell like a perfume again." Taehyung's jaw clenched. "She's just a colleague," Junkuk laughed bitterly. "You say that like it still means something to me. Why are you always assuming the worst?" Taehyung asked, stepping forward. "No," Junkuk snapped, stepping back. "I assume what I see. You stay late, you hide your phone, you like every seductive post. You text people you once called just friends in ways you never even text me. You stopped choosing me, Taehyung's voice dropped. "I haven't touched anyone, but you emotionally left me months ago," Junkuk whispered. "You don't cheat with just your hands. You cheat with your heart. And I've watched you give that away to strangers piece by piece." The silence was deafening. Taehyung looked like he wanted to defend himself. But this time, he had no words. Just silence, and guilt in his eyes. "I keep wondering if I did something wrong," Junkuk continued, his voice cracking. "If I wasn't enough. If you got bored. If someone else made you feel something I couldn't, you were never the problem," Taehyung murmured. "Then why did you stop being mine?" Taehyung opened his mouth. Closed it again. And Junkuk laughed, brokenly. "Exactly." He walked past him slowly, grabbing his hoodie and sliding it on with shaking hands. "I'm not going to beg anymore. You don't have to choose between me and your little online flirtations. Because I'm done competing, Junkuk. I love you," Junkuk said as he reached the door. "Even when it felt like you didn't love me back. But I won't keep staying in a relationship where I'm constantly being shown I'm second." And then he left. And this time, Taehyung couldn't stop him. The apartment was cold. Not because the windows were open, but because Junkuk had stopped waiting. He sat on the couch, staring at the empty glass in his hands. Hours had passed since Taehyung said he'd be home. Again. A familiar routine now, waiting, hoping, lying to himself that maybe this time would be different. But it never was. The door finally opened. The scent of unfamiliar perfume drifted in before Taehyung did. "You're late," Junkuk said, not looking up. Taehyung's brows furrowed. "Work dragged on," Junkuk gave a hollow laugh. "She must be working late too." Taehyung's expression changed immediately. "Don't start. No, let's finish," Junkuk said, standing now, eyes meeting his husband's. "Let's finish pretending. Let's finish making excuses. Let's finish the part where I keep believing that loving you is enough to keep you here. Junkuk, I saw your messages, he whispered. The ones you thought you deleted. Taehyung's silence was louder than any lie. You told her you couldn't stop thinking about her. That you wished you met her before me. Junkuk's voice cracked. You told her I didn't understand you anymore. Taehyung stepped forward, guilt bleeding across his face. It wasn't real. I made a mistake. No. You chose to. Again and again. Junkuk's hands trembled. You made her feel seen while you made me feel invisible. I love you, Taehyung said softly, but Junkuk stepped back. If you loved me, you would have protected me. You wouldn't have humiliated me, broken me, left me wondering why I wasn't enough. Tears gathered in Junkuk's eyes. I gave everything. Every part of me. And you kept a part of yourself for everyone else. Taehyung's voice was a whisper. Please, let me fix this. You can't fix what you shattered willingly. Silence. Heavy. Suffocating. I don't hate you, Junkuk said. But I'm done choosing someone who always chooses themselves first. And with that, he walked into their bedroom, not to cry, not to beg, but to pack. For once, he was choosing himself. Taehyung stood frozen in the middle of the apartment. The echo of the bedroom door clicking shut was louder than any slap, louder than all of Junkuk's tears, louder than his own heartbeat breaking apart in his chest. He didn't follow Junkuk immediately. He didn't know how. For years, Junkuk had been his constant, quietly loving him, supporting him, smiling at him even when Taehyung came home reeking of guilt and other people's perfume. And now, that constant was finally slipping through his fingers. And he had no one to blame but himself. Inside the bedroom, Junkuk's hands shook as he folded his clothes. Everything reminded him of Taehyung. His oversized shirts Junkuk always wore to sleep, the cologne Taehyung bought him, the stupid matching couple socks Taehyung never wore but Junkuk cherished. He was trembling, but he wasn't stopping. This wasn't weakness anymore. This was survival. A knock came. Soft. Hesitant. Junkuk. Taehyung's voice was low, almost pleading. Please open the door. I don't think I can look at you right now, came Junkuk's reply. It wasn't angry. It was tired. You're right, Taehyung whispered. I never fought for you the way you fought for me. But I want to now. Junkuk's laugh was bitter. Now that I'm leaving, no. Because losing you terrifies me more than anything, Taehyung said through the door. I thought I could get away with giving you only half of me. That you'd always stay. But seeing you back, hearing the way your voice cracked tonight, it made me realize I already lost you a long time ago. Silence. I don't want your apology, Junkuk said finally. I want your change. And not because you're scared of being alone, but because you realized what you had when you still had time. I'm willing to prove that, Taehyung said desperately. Even if you hate me. Even if you never come back. I'll spend every day proving that I was a fool for not loving you right. The door opened. Junkuk stood there, eyes puffy, lips trembling, but his back was straight. I'm still leaving, Taehyung, he said softly. But I'll be watching. Let's see if your words are just a moment of guilt, or the start of real regret. He walked past Taehyung, down the hallway, into the elevator. And for the first time, it was Taehyung left staring at a closed door. Alone. 3 months later, the apartment was quiet now. Not the comforting silence Junkuk used to enjoy, but an aching, heavy one. Gone were the plants Junkuk used to water every morning. Gone was the scent of lavender he always kept burning in the corner. And gone was Junkuk himself. Taehyung stood by the window, sipping his coffee that tasted bitter no matter how much sugar he added. He glanced at the phone lying untouched on the table. No new messages. Still blocked. Still waiting. He hadn't dated anyone. Not flirted. Not partied. He'd even resigned from the modeling contract with the company that first caused him to lie to Junkuk, where he'd made himself look single for his image. He was trying. For real, this time. But he knew it wasn't enough yet. Meanwhile, across the city, Junkuk was flourishing, but quietly. He'd moved into a small but cozy studio. He worked part-time at an art cafe and spent his evenings painting and playing with a rescued kitten he named Hope. Jimin had visited often, checking in and silently proud of how Junkuk was slowly rebuilding himself. There were still nights Junkuk cried. Nights he dreamed about Taehyung's voice saying I love you and woke up alone. But now, he no longer begged for those dreams to be real. Until one evening, he stepped out of the cafe after a late shift, and Taehyung was standing there in the cold, soaked in rain, holding a small, handmade photo album wrapped in ribbon. Junkuk froze, eyes wide. I know I shouldn't be here, Taehyung said immediately, but I saw your cafe's soft opening poster. I just wanted to leave this. He extended the album like a fragile offering. It's every photo we ever took. I developed them, printed them, wrote the dates, the moments, the truths I never said when I should have. Junkuk didn't take it. His voice was calm but firm. Why now? Taehyung's eyes glistened. Because I finally love you the way you always deserved. And I wanted you to know, even if you never give me another chance, I'm becoming someone worthy of you. Not for your forgiveness, but because loving you taught me what kind of man I never want to be again. The silence was thick with memories. Junkuk looked at him for a long moment, eyes unreadable. Then, softly, you don't deserve me yet, but I'm still hoping you will. He took the album and walked away. But this time, Taehyung didn't feel the door slam shut. It felt like it was left just a little open.